58 and 59 I joined.
I believe it was 1977.
I joined in 1979.
1990.
2006.
2007.
2010.
2014.
I enjoyed being a member. I really did. I enjoyed meeting people, and I did meet a lot.
Originally, when I first started to go to events, it was at the Knights of Columbus Hall on Glen Hill Road at the top of the hill, across from the Glen Hill Convalescent Center. And we used to have meetings there, and I remember going to things there.
A very nice place to meet, because we had a couple of different rooms that we could use. If we wanted to use just the one room, or they had the other room where the bar was, and that's where we always had the Christmas party, the children's Christmas party.
But that was torn down to make way for the Gardens Assisted Living Center. And then we had to leave, and we ended up at Concordia.
So on the Concordia, it was the third floor, 39 steps. And it was a big hall. It was great. I mean, the place was perfect except for the stairs.
And we were in Concordia quite a few years. We started the festival when we were still in the Concordia.
Then it was on Main Street in the storefront that we had.
And we opened our own building.
Here at the GDICC, which is so nice.
So here we are.
We tried to be as active as we could.
We had our corned beef dinner every year, and things like that. The children's Christmas party. We always had a Christmas party with the men.
We used to have communion breakfast every year, but that seemed to have faded away.
My mom did dancing down at the old club on Main Street. She met her husband, they would come down here and dance, and that was a huge part of their life. And then after he passed away, it was everybody here that I feel kept her on the up, kept her going, kept her morale up, and she still dances to this day.
I tried to update things, so I thought, let me try to do some programs. And what I did was rely on ladies who were in our division. We had a few nurses in our division, and we did a blood pressure screening. And it was interesting, some ladies who did not know they had high blood pressure indicated that they needed to see their doctors.
We had wonderful times here. We had picnics here. They were held at the Italian Club over in Kenosha.
The picnics were fabulous. My kids always look forward to them. And it was a day of really relaxing, having fun, just being with each other, the members, and it was a great day.
They were very good, but then the attendance dwindled, and then you have to have people willing to run these events, because it's a lot of work.
I hope they get back to the picnics that we used to have.
People think you celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but if you're Irish, you celebrate March, and it starts with the ball.
The ball is one of my favorite times a year, and I don't get to dress up often. So the ball is a place to where you can dress up. It's like a prom in high school for the older generation.
It's like putting a wedding together every year. We have a great band, primetime show band. We do have it at the Ember Room every year, and primarily it's because they are very, very good to us. It's always the first Saturday of March, so it always starts off our March festivities.
We honor the LAOH and AOH Member of the Year, and those people are recognized through everything they've done throughout the year.
The Hibernians of the Year are honored and marched in, and they give a speech.
That's where they are honored, that's where they come in, that's where they're presented with their plaques and flowers and speeches and everything else.
They represent someone who has really gone above and beyond for the organization. And it's a wonderful opportunity to recognize these women who have done so much, shared so much of their time, their expertise, their love of the Irish culture and the organization.
And it's a really nice place to just unwind, where again, all the volunteers are just regular people and they don't have to do anything. But at that moment, it's a time where we can all relax and just enjoy everything that we have.
My husband and I always went to the ball. We had a good time dancing. It would be packed. We always had good attendance at those. We'd get a lot of people to come to them.
They play Irish music, they play dance music, they play ceilidh sets. So a lot of opportunity to dance, to share the evening with fun-loving Irish folks and all their friends that they bring. It's a pretty big, well-attended event. The ball is hands down the social highlight of the year. We go from the ball to St. Patrick's Day that we celebrate here at the club.
So after the ball is done, the corned beef brigade starts up. They start usually a week before St. Patrick's Day and get everything squared away. And everything is put together and prepped so that we're ready to serve 500 pounds of it during St. Patrick's Day and the parade.
And we have, women and men from across the organization that help step up to put forth a St. Patrick's Day that, whether you belong to the club or you do not belong to the club, you want to share St. Patrick's Day with the Hibernians.
Steve O'Tree usually comes every St. Patrick's Day and he plays in the back. They have the School of Irish Dance, all the little kids that are dancing, and it's amazing.
We do a flag raising in Bethel on St. Patrick's Day and march over to the town hall there and do a flag raising, and then we do a mass at St. Peter's.
So the St. Patrick's Day is really a culmination of the whole celebration of the Hibernians of the year and St. Patrick's Day all in once. So we raise the flag at City Hall, and we come up here for corned beef dinners, sandwiches, cocktails, and bands in the back. So we always have a good time on St. Patrick's Day.
Now we have a parade in Danbury, which is very successful. The last few years it's been doing very well.
It's a good parade, and people kind of look forward to it now,
The parade has gotten bigger and better every year. We run it the Sunday following St. Patrick's Day. Another really fun activity. It's coordinated by the AOH, the LAOH, and the GDICC.
The St. Patrick's Day and the parade come pretty much hand in hand. They're usually only a couple days apart from each other. We want everybody to be involved with the St. Patrick's Day parade. We'd like it to be a city-wide parade, and it's been building and building. The parade committee has done a fabulous job of putting things together. Each year it has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger.
That is a great way for us to show our appreciation of our Irish culture, to show the community our support of our Irish heritage. The festival is a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's well worth it.
The festival, we started when we were in Crosby Street. That's where it started.
It was an exciting thing to do the festival.
One of the festivals out there, we ended up in a sea of mud, and that made the front page of the newspaper.
And the mud, it was like everything was a sea of mud. You had to walk gingerly from one place to another where you'd slide and go down.
So the festivals have really evolved into something really great.
It's a lot of cultural tents, a lot of bands, music. It's just everybody getting together and, baking, cooking. It's good because the whole community sees what we're about. They don't just think we're like a private club that you can't come in.
It's really, really important to all of us to find ways to educate the community about our organization and about the Irish culture. And there's no better way to do it than the festival.
I think I've attended about 13 conventions all over the United States.
You get to see how all the different divisions work, and of course the county and the state.
I did go to several, two in New Orleans, which were great. They know how to entertain down there.
The conventions are fun and they are serious. It's important to go to the meetings if you're going to be a delegate.
Really kind of comforting to see how many women there were that really were part of the same type of organization.
You see the full workings of the entire organization because we are one division of a much larger organization, not only of the state of Connecticut, but the state of Connecticut and then with the nation.
Nice to know that there are many people that still are interested in and want to promote the LAOH. I'll go again.
I had a great time and I met so many nice people.
In order to raise money for the scholarship fund, we've run events like Bunko, which is a blast.
Now that was a lot of fun, but in the beginning I thought, oh, I don't want to go to that. But you know, it was fun. So sometimes you got to make yourself go to these things and then realize it is fun.
So I've done the Adopt a Family. I've also done the food baskets, which is really very rewarding. Many of the different things with the children I've done in the past. Breakfast with Santa, the Easter Bunny, things like that, which are just really fun to do. And you know, when we do our food baskets, and they're actually boxes, but when you step back and they're all packed and there's 50 boxes of food that really are not just for technically, you know, one meal, a holiday meal, it's food for a couple of weeks after. And you know, you can think that there may be a mother or a father that can breathe easy, knowing that their children are going to be fed for a couple of weeks and they don't have to be so stressed out. That's great.
We have a ladies' high tea. We run it here at the GDICC, from hot tea to petit fours to finger sandwiches and hats and music and a lot of camaraderie. A wonderful social event.
The tea was just something to do very socially. Just a day of having a good time and conversation and enjoying each other's company. A lot of women had been asking about it, and we decided to try to do it one year, and now it's stuck, and I think we're going into I would say our 8th year.
It's a great way to celebrate the organization and celebrate the women's friendship that we have.
You don't see many Irish organizations really doing so well.
It really is a great organization, and I hate to see it fall by the wayside.
The group that's joining now are younger than me. Some of them are just out of college. Some are, in their, 30s. So this new group coming in is younger. And I think one of the reasons they're joining is this sense of community, sense of sisterhood, this sense that we are here to be with you and to support you.
So I kind of thought, all right, maybe there's something about this place. The more I came here, the more friends I made. This is one place where I can walk in by myself, and you're not by yourself.
There's people here from so many other places that I might not have ever run into. And they've all enriched my life greatly, so for that I'm very grateful.
I had my husband, and we'd go down and we'd have a drink or two just to socialize, and we made a lot of friends that way. He made friends, I made friends. After he passed away, I said, how is my life going to change? And it was so nice to know that I could come into the Hibernian Hall and sit there by myself, and all of a sudden I'm socializing with people. It was so important to me. And I think so many people are missing the boat that don't understand that you can come here and just be a part of it.
If there is an issue or a problem or something is needed, the call goes out and people step up. And I think that's a really important part of who we are and what we do, because ultimately it's all about people.
When I joined in March of 2006, I had gone to 3 meetings, and then in June I was diagnosed with breast cancer and spent a year between chemo and radiation and surgery and the whole gamut of it. And I experienced that sisterhood and that community in my first 3 months of the number of, calls and mass cards and meals and well wishes, that every time I showed up, I had 20 people that wanted to see how I was at a very difficult time. And that is what locked me into the organization, is that community.
You learn a lot about the history of Ireland when you become a Hibernian. You learn a lot about your heritage. You learn about your family.
I think it's important. It gives you a sense of identity. And it's one that I'm just feel blessed to be able to say, I am Irish and I am proud of it.
It became very evident that when our good friend Joan Barry passed away, that the ladies as an organization came together in a way to support each other, to support her family, share in our grief. We really, really support each other, as women should. And it was incredibly evident when Joan passed away. And I think those around us that are now joining see that and felt that they were missing out on something. The LAOH is a sisterhood and a community of people who care about one another, friendship, unity, and Christian charity in a women's organization. We live that motto.